So, in your first position, this is you. So you have the Chariot. So like I said, the Chariot is about, taking the reins and directing where you want this force to go, directing where you want your life to go. Do I want to go left? Do I want to go right? Do I want to go right? Do I want to go left? So your position now is like, I'm taking action, I'm making the decision, and I'm going to do it. And you persevere through hard work with the Chariot. So that's sort of your position. Some of you are at this point where you're not knowing exactly which direction to go with, but you kind of have an idea, but you haven't taken the action yet because this is in your present. So for some of you, you've actually done it, and for others of you, I feel like you're like right in the middle. And the reason I say this is because what's crossing you, their advice, is the Star card. So the Star card is, I see this two different ways. Some of you are reconciling with someone, family members. I see a lot of you going back to your family. I see relationships mending with your family, with your children, with your life, actually. So that's how I see this is. But for others of you, it's an actual like romantic relationship. Somebody has come into your life, or you've been dealing with some of your past, because that's in your third house, and they're saying there is reconciliation there. And with the Star card, you see the blessings they're pouring. It's exactly what you're really wanting. It's scary. You don't know how it's going to go. You're so like, some of you have just been so beat down that you're like, I'm almost afraid to move, because if one more thing happens, I don't know that I can take it. And they're saying, trust that you're on the path you're supposed to be. Trust that we know you and that you've done the work. And now it's just about the unfolding. But there are some things that you do have to face so that you can reconnect, because it's where you're wanting to go anyway. Okay? So that's their advice. What you came from was the Six of Cups. So you've been dealing with someone from the past, or even some of you reconnecting with yourselves. I see that too, where you're reconnecting with yourself. You're reconnecting with that person that you loved at one time, that you were like, you were the light of the party, and you were the depth of everybody. You just knew that. And so some of you, I see that you'd reconnected with yourself and really trying to understand what you're wanting, right? And again, because you're Scorpio, it's the rising Phoenix. I always see you going in, really delving in the deep part where people don't like to look. You go in there like brave soldiers and just delve into there, and then you come out transformed. You know it's going to hurt sometimes. You know it doesn't feel good sometimes, but you do it. And that's what I admire about you. And then, so for others of you, it is a specific person, or it's family. I kind of feel like for a lot of you, it's family. Dealing with some family members that you hadn't dealt with before, or maybe you sort of pushed them off to the side because you were doing other things. Not in a bad way, just that you were focused on other things. But you're coming to a place where you had to reconnect, or you're wanting to reconnect because you're understanding more about yourself. And so I feel like you've been dealing with this person, and now it's about making your decisions. That's what you've come through. Now it's about making your decision, because for some of you, it is a romantic partner. It is a partner that you once had or once dealt with, and had come back and been dealing with that person, and it's about making the decision. And again, their advice to some of you, and not everybody for romantic, but some of you, it is a reconciliation time. It is a time in the romance area for you to go back to center, for you to connect with that person, but be very clear about what's going on, okay? So in the first 2 weeks of October, you have the Death card. This is all about transformation in your ascending, in your love life, in your money, in your contracts, in your businesses, wherever your love is. If you've never seen me before, to me, love is the energy or force that moves through all vibrations. So wherever your attention and focus has been on, this is the transformation that's going on. Okay? So out with the old, in with the new. And for some of you, you've been trying so hard to be brave and make these decisions, and things are kind of working out, but you're not really sure. And so I feel like the first week of October, things are going to get really, really clear. I really feel like Like all of a sudden, I feel like when Jupiter hits into Scorpio, you're going to get a lot of clarity. Okay. So for some of you in the romance area, that means letting go of the past, letting go of that person, and coming to the new vibration, the new energy, the new space. Okay. But whatever this is, in the first 2 weeks, you'll be dealing with transformation. You'll be dealing with out with the old and with the new. Okay. Now, in your 5th position, I always ask your higher self, what is the one message they want to bring through to help you move forward in love? They have the 7 of coins for you, or your higher self has the 7 of coins for you, which means trust us, trust yourself. If you've done the work and nourished the tree, it is coming to be that time where you can reap the benefits of your rewards, of what you've worked on so hard. It just took a while to get this tree nourished, okay? Because some of you had started nourishing the tree and then you ignored it. But they're saying this time is near. This time is near. You're going to get those things that you're wanting, and you have such transformation in this house, and you have such transformation in the phase of life that if you've done the work, trust that you'll be able to reap these benefits, because that's what's coming for not just October. I feel like this whole year is really good for you. Okay. I feel like great stuff comes for some of you. Okay. Now, in the second half of the month, you have the 5 of coins. So the 5 of coins is all about coming from a space of scarcity, right? And so because you're transforming, because these things are happening, I feel like at the second part of October, you're still sort of gun shy. I feel like you're still coming from a place of scarcity, like, like, no, it's not enough, or it's not going to come through, or it's, you know, and I kind of feel like you'll be dealing with that at the second half. But you have to remember, when Jupiter comes in and these things that are happening, they're going to unfold in time. Right? You're not going to get all your blessings at once. You're going to get them throughout the year, because as Jupiter's giving you the gifts and the talents and the blessing, right? As Jupiter's giving that to you, you're learning and you're expanding. And yes, as much as you can go in and transform yourself, you don't want all your gifts at once. It's going to be kind of boring if you do that. So something happens in the second part of October that causes you to go back to the habit of that scarcity. What if it doesn't? What happens if I don't do it right? What happens if this person does it right? What happens if I saw it wrong? What happens, right? So you can always turn this upside down. You can turn the energy, you can transform it and say, no, I'm going to trust here that I've worked hard enough, and now I'm getting clarity and I can move forward. Even though it doesn't look like it's going to happen, you never know. It's in your ascending. It comes from nowhere. Okay. And this, I'm talking about your businesses, your family, your romantic partners, your money, like your contracts, all of that. It just depends on where your love is. Okay. Now for others of you, I feel like with a transformation, the second half, you're just sort of resting because you're just beat. You're done. Like, you've had so much going on and you had to make the tough decisions and you had to do some of the things that you really didn't want to do, but you had to do because that's what was going to help you move forward. And so instead of thinking about it, you just had a knowing and said, all right, let's do it, right? So I feel like in the second half, you'll sort of just be like, you won't have any more to give at that point. You'll just be sort of resting with the situation, with a loved one, with the family. Like, I feel like you'll be pulling back, okay? So, but remember, this is just October. We still have a whole year. So in your seventh position, this is your fear. So a lot of you are fearing, is that person coming in? The Knight of Coins. Is that person coming in? Is that offer ever coming in? Is that big thing ever coming in? Is that money ever coming in? Are those contracts? Can I rest? Can I just stop for a minute? Can I stop transforming, right? Will it ever be in a place where it's stable and I'm comfortable and I don't have to fight? That's what I'm feeling with you guys. And remember, if you've done the work and you've cleared your field and you know where you want to go next, right? You're going to know when it goes into your ascending. You're going to get clarity about that. But when you do that, this is just a fear. A fear is there to remind you of what you want and what you don't want. So you know what you don't want. Focus on what you want. Just continue to see that and be in that and feel that, right? So in your 8th position, this is the way a loved one will be viewing you or dealing with you. And for some of you, this is the universe. You have the 7 of Wands. The way that they're dealing with you is they're going to stand up. They're going to stand up and they're going to fight. They're going to I feel like for some of you, it's because you're needing to put your boundaries, for sure, right? So the way they deal with you, there are some situations that have to get resolved so that you can get clear, so that you can move forward, right? And I feel like whatever this is a situation that they're going to stand up for what they know, and it's your turn to stand up too. You got it, you know this. So I feel like maybe with a partner, they're not backing down about something. I feel like, I kind of feel like some of you are you're just so chaotic and don't know where to go that you just start fighting, right? Or arguing. And so I feel like that's where their stance is because of that. And so there's a gentler way to do it. That's just for some of you. For others of you, this is the universe saying, you got this. You got this. We have to be the duality part of what you're trying to become, what you're trying to transform into. So stand up for what you know. Take the actions needed for what you need to do so that you can get on that path that you see, the path that you feel, the path that you know, that intuitive path, that place where you're yeah, I know I see that, right? I know I can have that because I see it. That's what they're trying to get you to. That was a different explanation, but that's what they were telling me. So in your 9th position, this is your hopes and dreams. But for me, that's the outer energy, outer realm of what's coming in. You have the 3 of Cups. And the 3 of Cups is all about celebration. So it looks like after this transformation, this first phase, because you're going to be going through several during the year, but after this first transformation, and when you're sort of just beat and can't do anything, anymore about the situation, and you're just ugh. I feel like at that time you have a little bit of celebration coming in. It'll make you happy, it'll make you more relaxed, and it'll make you... So I'm hearing them say it'll make you have faith in humanity again. That's what I'm hearing them say. Okay? Now, in your 10th position, this is the overall outcome of what you'll be working through. This is really, really important for you guys because it is about transformation and taking a stance and making a decision. So you have the 2 of Wands. So there are some actions that you have to take to go left or to go right. And remember, because you don't want to stay in the middle. You want to go left or you want to go right. But they're saying just because you go left does not mean you can't have the right. It just means in the unfolding of space-time, pick one. And then you never know when it sort of intersects with the other, right? So this is what you'll be working through in the month of October, making those hard decisions that you have to make. But it's time for you. But they're saying do not make them until you're clear. And you'll get clear because it's going into your first house to give you some clarity. It's going into your ascending to give you some clarity. And when you do, take the action and make the decision, which I know you can. Okay? So some of you, that does mean letting go of a partner. For others of you, that means moving towards a partner. For some of you, that means a partner in business. Others, that moves away from a partner in business. Others, that's actually moving one place or the other. You have to make your decision. It doesn't mean you can't have both. It just means pick one. Okay?